agent. And I would like someone to remind me, sure, Jason, what the ablative of personal agent is used for. Yes?
When you're saying by whom the action is done.
By whom the action is done. So that means that we can only use it with some kinds of verbs. What kinds of verbs would that be?
Passive.
Passive verbs, right. Because with active verbs, the action is being done by the subject, which would be in the nominative.
And action doesn't make any sense.
Right. Okay? Now, I would like someone else to remind me about what we learned about on Friday about the uses of the verb video in the passive voice. There are two different things video can mean in the passive voice. Give me one of them.
It can mean to seem.
It can mean to seem. What else can it mean in the passive voice?
Seen.
Just seen?
To be seen.
Yeah, to be seen.
Right.
So it can mean seem or to be seen, whichever one makes the most sense. Okay, well the next one that we're going to do, the next thing we're going to talk about is the subject infinitive.
Should we get out our notebooks and write it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
It's just going to be a little bit. It's just a short topic.
What part's it going to be under?
Just notes. And let's, as you're getting out your notebooks, let's think about the infinitive for a moment. First of all, give me an example of an infinitive in English. Jason, give me an example of an infinitive in English.
To run.
To run. Now, someone give me an example of an infinitive in Latin. Jane, can you give me an example of an infinitive in Latin?
Debere.
Okay, debere, to owe, or to ought. I don't know how you to ought. Okay, yeah. Okay, so those are infinitives. Now, in English, we say there are 8 parts of speech. Noun, verb, pronoun, adjective, adverb, conjunction, interjection,
Verb.
Preposition.
Yeah.
Wait, where's verb?
I said verb.
You did?
I did.
Second thing she said.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what part of speech is an infinitive?
That's a good question.
That's an adverb, I believe. No?
Is it a verb?
Prepositional phrase.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not a prepositional
Is
phrase
it
because
not
the
part of
to
a
is a
verb?
different to than the to that's part of a preposition. It is weird. It's weird because it comes from a verb. So you'd say, okay, it's a verb, but then if you think about it in a sentence, it acts like a noun in the sentence. So in a sentence, it acts like a noun.
So as a whole, it acts like a noun, right?
Yeah, and so it acts like a noun even though it comes from a verb. So since it acts like a noun, we can use it as a subject. Well, in Latin, nouns have different things associated with them. They have gender, case, and number. Well, we're not going to worry about the number of an infinitive, and we're not really going to worry a whole lot about the case because it's not going to change endings. But we are going to worry a little bit about the gender because when an infinitive acts as the subject, we're going to say it's working like a neuter noun. So I can have the sentence bonum est laborare. And in this sentence, laborare is a subject infinitive because it's actually the subject of this sentence. So, West, could you tell me what this sentence, what you think this sentence might mean? This is the subject. Laborare is the subject.
You, I'm sorry.
No?
Wait, R-A.
Well, it could be you are worked, but it's not here. It's an infinitive because we're talking about infinitives.
Oh, wait, I know. You.
No, there's no you in it.
Working is good.
Except working is not an infinitive.
To work is good.
To work is good.
Does that really work as a sentence?
Sure.
Did they use it that often? Like the subject's infinitive?
No, but they did use it. Okay, so to work is good. And so, what gender is bonum?
Neuter.
Neuter because it's modifying laborare,
Which
which
is
is an infinitive, which I just told you was neuter.
Right.
There won't be any cases where an infinitive is a gender.
Is what?
Will there be any cases where an infinitive is a gender?
Is it a gender?
Is a gender that's not neuter?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, just wondering. I'd like to know the exceptions to the rule.
I'm just going to stick with bonum.
Because it works.
To love mother and father is good.
Yeah, to love mother and father is good. So in this sentence, if I were to underline amare and ask you to tell me the syntax of amare, you would tell me it's a subject infinitive. If I were to ask you to tell me about bonum, you would say it's a neuter adjective modifying amare. Now what case is bonum? This is tricky.
What's a case?
Nominative, genitive,
Right,
dative, accusative, ablative.
I'd say it would be appositive.
Well, you would be wrong.
Okay.
Nominative?
It's nominative because
because
it's
it's
modifying
the
the subject.
Right.
Okay, so that's the subject infinitive. It's really not that hard. You just translate it as to whatever, just like you would any infinitive. It's just it's playing the role in the sentence of the subject.
Interesting.
Okay, so our next topic is also an easy topic, and that's the appositive.
Oh, I remember the.
Appositive. And I should have known that. That's the Latin root there.
Appositive.
Okay, appositive. Okay, what does anyone remember from their grammar class what an appositive is?
It's when like you have something like my teacher, comma.
The yada yada yada.
Whatever.
Something that doesn't have to be in the sentence. It's just cool that it's there because it explains something.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. Never.
Yeah, there we go. There's a fine sentence. Fine sentence.
That's totally not like a play on.
Totally
Not.
yes.
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Like,
very
it's
good.
more
Yeah.
sense, more-
Okay,
the best
so-
term always gets more.
So an appositive is something that it's almost always, not always, but almost always set off by commas. It doesn't have to be if it's a single word. It renames something else in the sentence, and the sentence makes perfect sense without it. My teacher is Mrs. Morrison.
But
And-
it sounds much better if she's
Yeah,
the
my
best
teacher, the
of
best
all.
teacher of all, is Mrs. Morrison. So it's renaming something else in the sentence, and in Latin, an appositive has the same case as the word it is renamed. So let's do an example in Latin. Actually, I'll write it in English first, and then we'll translate it into Latin. Now here's an example where I didn't put commas. And the reason I didn't put commas is because it was one word and it actually is better without commas. I think you can tell which word it's an appositive to without using the commas. The son of the farmer Julius is happy. Now, it's not entirely clear, and if I put commas, it would be really unclear, but who is Julius an appositive to in this sentence, Cole?
Son?
Well,
The farmer?
yeah, I mean for it to be an appositive to the farmer. In Latin, it'll be obvious what's an appositive to. So I mean that the farmer is named Julius. So I'm just telling you that.
Would the commas offset Julius? Because it could also set of Julius. Because the son is happy is just as fine. The son of the farmer is happy. The son is happy.
You don't offset prepositional phrases.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, guess you've been told.
Only
True.
Juice got told.
When can you?
when
can you-
they're special.
When can you do that with a prepositional phrase?
When they're special.
When there's more than one at the beginning of a sentence.
Okay. Well,
Or like during the rain.
I definitely didn't get told.
I
Okay.
read outside.
Okay, so let's figure out how we would say the sentence. Well, let's just start with the beginning. The sun.
Who where?
No.
No?
Please.
Alright. I always get those two.
Footage.
That was awesome.
Of the farmer.
Agricultural.
Agricole. Julius to be in a positive to Agricolae, so what case does Julius need to be in?
Genitive.
Genitive has to be the same case as the farmer. So what's the genitive of Julius?
Julia.
Yeah, there's two possibilities for it. It could be Yuli, or it could just be Yuli. You could have one eye or two eyes.
Whoa, it starts with an I.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Is
That's
est happy.
I don't know happy.
No.
Like,
Light.
like
Like.
juice.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Juice.
Tooth.
Like
Like
tooth.
tooth smell.
okay. So in this sentence, we know that Julius is the farmer. What if I wanted to say the son of the farmer, Julius, is happy? So in this sentence, Julius is the son, so he's not the farmer. So here, Julius is the farmer. In my next sentence, so now I've added some
Put
commas.
Julius in the beginning.
Julius, the son of the farmer.
Oh, let's say I want to put it in the same word order. What's going to be different?
It's gonna be Julius.
It'll be Julius.
Because it can't be genitive, because that would be
Right.
consent.
And so in Latin, it's really easy to say which word it's in a positive to. Is that all clear?
That's a loud clock.
Yeah, it is.
It's the one-
And I think that's it.
Really?
I hope so.
No, it's not quite it. Okay, now what I need y'all to do, you're not going to have homework on this tonight. Well, you're going to have homework on this stuff tonight.
Oh, no.
The next thing, we're just going to go ahead and put it in our paradigm section, get it out of the way. We'll talk about it, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. So in your notebooks, turn to your paradigm section, and we need a brand new page.
I'm scared now.
Yeah, regular verb.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's another irregular verb.
Angry, very angry.
The irregular verb ao. Also not surprising that it's irregular. It's the verb that means go. And if we think about the verb go in English, well,
Go,
goes.
went,
Yeah, you don't.
goes,
Yesterday, you wouldn't say yesterday I
goes.
goed. You would say went. And if you think about the word went, it shows absolutely no relationship whatsoever to the word go. Yes.
Can we put it with our imperfect verbs or our irregular verbs?
You can put it with your irregular verbs here. Okay, so first, let's take a look at its principal parts. AO, and then its second principal part
Which
is,
is the infinitive, right?
no, that's
No,
the
the
first
second
person
one.
singular.
No, I mean,
That's I.
ire would be the.
Yeah, ire is the infinitive, right. Ire, which means to go. And then this one is really strange because it has two possible different third principal parts, just two different forms. EE, which I like, or iwi, which is actually a little easier to use. But those are both perfectly good third principal parts,
I like both of them.
EE or iwi.
I like
And
juice.
the fourth principal part is itum. So those are the principal parts of the verb. That means go. It means go. And is this a transitive verb or an intransitive verb? Most likely.
Intransitive.
It's intransitive
Yeah.
because you don't go something. I mean, you can. I mean, you've all been able to figure out sentences where you know, but typically it's
Going down.
intransitive. No, that would be an adverb. The down would be an adverb. Okay, so present tense. And it's irregular, so don't expect it to necessarily make sense.
At all.
But, you know, it's not that weird. So AO is I go. It could also be I am going or I do go. Is, you go. It, he, she, it goes.
Do we have to write all the translations?
Emus, not if you don't want to. You're responsible for them, but if you can figure it out, if you've
Yeah.
got it down by now, you
Yeah.
know.
It seems like it's just yeah, it
Emus,
is. It's just I with the
ipsis, you plural go. You're wonderful. Now, be careful if you are typing this on a computer and you're using Word, if you're typing up your study guide. Word always thinks you made a mistake here and that you meant to type it is, and it always puts a space in between them.
You just have to turn off that crappy autocorrect.
Yeah. And then aunt
It is crap.
equals they go. Okay, let's not talk about autocorrect, I guess. I started it. But so the ones that are especially different are the first person singular and the third person plural, because they have the E's in them.
The other ones are very simple.
Right, and they've got the right endings, O, S, T, was, tis, int. So it's very easy to translate when you see it, if you recognize it. It's kind of hard to recognize because it's such a short little word that you see it and you forget that it's a form of a verb. Yes?
What conjugation is this verb?
It does not belong to any conjugation.
Okay, because it seems like it would be like.
But
Like
if
a
you
ring.
wanted to make it into a conjugation, it is similar to, actually, I would say it's most similar to fourth conjugation.
That's awesome.
Are we gonna have the notes for week rules?
We have
Yeah, that's why I'm giving it to you today, even though we're not really going to start practicing on it till tomorrow.
Question.
Now, the imperfect tense and the future tense, actually, I take it back. Maybe it's more like second conjugate. I don't know.
I think it seems sort of like second.
Yeah. Okay.
But are we going to be learning any more conjugations this year?
You'll be learning third, IO, and fourth.
Wait, we already have third. No, we don't. Never mind.
You have third declension now.
Third declension nouns. I knew that we had third something.
Okay, now the imperfect tense is actually easy, and it's regular. Ibam, I was going. Ibas, you were going. Ibat, he, she, it was going. Ibamus, we were going. Ibatis, y'all were going. And Ibant, they were going. Okay, so really nothing hard there at all. You just have, bomb, boss, bot, bombus, botus, bont, you just have to remember to put the letter I in front of it, and you got your endings. We'll see the future tense is also not so bad. It's just that the stem of this noun is kind of irregular.
It doesn't seem that horrible.
It's not.
I'm kind of wondering why they kept it till this like late in the book, or not late in the book, but like.
So that you don't get, in my other book that I used, I taught a lot of the irregular verbs at once. I taught sum and possum and ao all kind of at the same time, and then people get them confused. So this way, you've got sum all hopefully permanently etched in your head, and so
Yeah.
this one won't get confused.
Yes, so, yeah, see, that's why you like this book better than the last one.
It's
It's
just
etched
one.
into the wall of my brain.
Okay, Ibbo. This is future tense. I will go. Ibis. You will go. Ibit. He, she, it will go. Ibimus. We will go. Ibitus. You plural will go. Sorry.
It's okay, I have to pick up some furniture.
Oh, okay. And Ibunt, they will go.
It seems like only the present tense is slightly
Is it
different.
Ibont
You're right.
or Ibont?
Ibunt, you. The perfect tense is also a little weird,
I
but we
was
don't
looking
have
at
to
the
worry.
bottom last
We'll
night.
learn that next year.
No, we'll learn it at the end of this year.
Oh, darn.
Oh boy.
I thought we weren't learning anymore.
Okay, so that's all the new stuff